Swarmlake is a first-person action game from the developer who made Refunct. While I can see a similar style, the games couldn't be more different. Swarmlake is freaking nuts! A fast-paced action game all about the high score. With more and more enemies added to the mix, it gets hectic. Definitely a just one more run kind of game. The most unique part of Swarmlake has to be how much mobility the game gives you. Using the gun, you can propel yourself into the air. You can even keep shooting the enemies and stay up there. It takes a little bit of finesse to keep it going. There's definitely a game feeling that you get accustomed to because it's much safer to keep going up and down. Staying up in the air isn't going to help your score either. The scoring are these green diamonds that fall to the floor and you need to go collect them. Having the score be a collectible item is not an original concept, but the execution is spot on. You need to consistently be thinking about not getting surrounded and making sure to collect the points. Even more important is that you don't want to leave any score on the ground if you die. Gameplay is incredibly simple and the gun only has 2 fire modes. It's either constantly shooting a stream of bullets that's good for clearing out enemies at a distance, or the spread shot you manually fire, and as you know, it can be used to keep yourself floating above the enemies. From playing, it feels like you need to be careful about your distance from the enemies and which fire mode to use. The spread shot, much like a shotgun, is good for close enemies. It took me a few runs to realize that it's much less effective at a distance and won't keep you in the air at that distance. I mean, I figured that was true, but the range is less than I initially thought. So you need to keep alternating between each mode of fire and keep back the enemies. It was completely unexpected how great this feels, and how many close calls there are while you're flying dangerously close to enemies. It's a cheap and straightforward game, so there's not too many negative things for me to say. I wish they had a little bit more feedback for killing enemies. I wish that there was a way to change the color scheme, or even better if it changed based on your score. Kind of like how Superflight switches colors when you jump through a portal. I could see Swarmlake getting a little repetitive, but it's so cheap, even after a few hours of fun, it will have paid for itself. Overall, Swarmlake is mindless and a fucking blast to play. The feeling of dread I get when the shadow from the swarm of enemies is right on top of me is insane. For only $1, it's easily one of the best budget games I've played. If you want a simple, first-person shooter where you can try and beat your high score, then I suggest you pick this up. Thanks for watching.